Welcome to today's deep dive.
We've got so much to cover today.
We're looking at the hottest AI research.
Fresh off the press from rresothery.org.
Published just today, February 5th, 2025.
Your daily dose of AI news.
All killer, no filler.
Absolutely.
Let's dive in.
Sounds good.
Our first theme
Okay.
focuses on researchers pushing the boundaries of what AI can do,
Pushing the limits.
starting with a paper
All right.
titled Exact Sequence Classification with Hardmax Transform.
Oh, this one's exciting.
Oh,
It tackles a fundamental question. How effectively can transformers classify sequences of data?
like,
Things like text, music, stock prices, all sorts of things.
interesting. So what do they find?
This research proves mathematically
Whoa,
that a specific type of transformer can achieve perfect classification
perfect.
on any dataset of labeled sequences
Right.
using what's called hardmax attention.
Wow,
Pretty impressive.
it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But what does it actually mean?
Imagine an AI that can understand the nuances of language perfectly. 100% accuracy.
That's wild.
Instantly translating languages,
Cool.
summarizing complex documents,
Wow.
composing different kinds of creative text formats,
Amazing.
all sorts of things. This research brings us closer to that reality.
I can't wait.
The key,
Okay.
how they designed the architecture of the transformer,
I think
alternating feed-forward and self-attention layers.
it's like a special recipe for building these transformers.
Exactly.
So it's not just a theoretical exercise.
Not at all.
It actually has real-world implications.
It reflects how transformers are actually built.
That's fascinating.
We're gaining a deeper understanding of why transformers are so successful at these tasks.
Unlocking their true potential.
Exactly.
Speaking of unlocking potential,
Okay.
the next paper tackles the limits of chain-of-thought reasoning.
Yeah.
This is how AI models,
Little big LLMs.
those large language models,
Yes.
solve problems step by step,
Just like we do.
like humans do.
Yeah.
The paper is titled Lower Bounds for Chain-of-Thought Reasoning in Hard Attention Transformers.
All right.
We've all been amazed by what LLMs can do
Oh, yeah?
using chain-of-thought reasoning,
Okay, sure.
but this research provides a bit of a reality check.
Uh-oh.
It explores how many of those reasoning steps
Okay.
are truly necessary for different types of problems.
I see.
So are they saying these LLMs are overthinking things?
Well, sort of.
Huh.
For certain problems, they found that LLMs might need more steps than we initially thought.
Even for simple problems.
Even seemingly simple ones.
Why?
Like determining if a number is odd or even.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So even with their impressive capabilities, there are still limits.
Limits for sure.
We're mapping out the boundaries of these LLMs' reasoning ability.
Exactly.
That's fascinating.
It guides future research, helps us develop better AI systems.
Makes sense. Now, for something a little less theoretical, let's look at some AI research focused on making these tools faster,
Speeding things up.
more efficient.
Right.
Small improvements can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
The first paper, Distributional Diffusion Models with Scoring Rules,
Okay.
focuses on those amazing diffusion models
Yeah.
that generate incredible images from text.
So cool.
I've seen those. They're pretty mind-blowing.
Oh, yeah.
But they can be a bit slow, right?
That's right. This is the problem they're addressing.
So what's their solution?
Instead of predicting just the average clean data sample,
I see.
they propose predicting the entire distribution of possibilities.
Okay. I think I need that explained a little simpler.
Imagine you're trying to sculpt an apple
Okay.
from a block of clay.
Okay, I'm following.
A traditional diffusion model would slowly chip away at the clay,
Bit by bit.
bit by bit, revealing the apple.
Got it.
This new approach is like having a mold of the apple
Okay.
and pouring liquid clay into it,
Oh, I see.
instantly forming the shape.
So it's generating the whole picture at once.
Exactly.
Faster generation without sacrificing the quality of the image.
A win-win.
Absolutely. Now, I'm curious about this next paper
Okay.
that focuses on those little separators we see
Ah, yes.
in text generated by LLMs.
Those seemingly meaningless tokens.
The paper, SEP-LLM, accelerate large language models by compressing one segment into one separator.
Interesting title.
They found a way to make LLMs more efficient by compressing the information between those separators.
Clever.
So they're squeezing more information into those tiny tokens.
They found that those separators actually carry a lot of redundant information.
Really?
Yeah, so they get rid of that redundancy
Okay.
and compress the segments into the separators themselves, reducing the memory footprint of the model.
So it's like optimizing code. They're making it run smoother and faster. Impressive. What kind of results did they see?
They achieved a 50% reduction.
Wow, 50%.
In what's called the KV cache.
Okay.
Which is basically the memory used to store information during processing.
That's huge.
Especially for those massive language models.
It could make LLMs more accessible.
Absolutely.
People who don't have access to giant supercomputers.
Democratizing access.
Exactly.
I love that. It's incredible how AI is being used to solve real-world problems.
Especially in healthcare.
Absolutely.
We've got 2 papers today that highlight this perfectly.
Can't wait to hear about them.
The first one is titled Fruit Pal, an IoT-enabled framework for automatic monitoring of fruit consumption in smart healthcare.
Sounds intriguing.
It's a device that uses cutting-edge image recognition.
Wow.
To identify the types of fruit you're eating.
Really?
And it even estimates their nutritional value.
That's impressive.
It's like having a personal nutritionist right on your countertop.
Right there with you.
Imagine the possibilities for healthy diets.
For sure.
Especially for people with specific dietary needs.
Yeah, that's a great application.
And Fruit Pal goes even further.
Ooh.
It can alert caregivers if it detects potential allergic reactions.
Amazing.
Based on the fruit being consumed, of course.
So smart.
Talk about using AI for healthy and safe eating habits.
It's incredible how AI is improving our lives.
Now, this next paper tackles a big challenge.
What's that?
Early detection of Alzheimer's disease.
That's a tough one.
The paper is called LED, Large Foundation Model for EEG-based Alzheimer's disease detection.
Okay.
Early diagnosis is crucial for managing Alzheimer's.
Absolutely.
And this research is really pushing the boundaries.
Oh, what'd they do?
They built the world's largest EGAD dataset.
How big are we talking?
Data from 813 subjects.
Wow, that's huge.
They use this massive dataset to train a powerful AI model called LED.
So they're using AI to detect Alzheimer's.
And get this, it uses data from EEGs,
EEG?
electroencephalogram,
Brainwave scans.
to detect Alzheimer's with impressive accuracy.
That's incredible.
Instead of relying on invasive or expensive tests.
Right.
They're using a simple and accessible technology to detect this disease early on.
That could be a game changer.
This is just the beginning of what AI can do in healthcare.
So many possibilities.
Now let's shift gears a bit
Sounds good.
and explore how AI is changing the way humans and machines interact.
That's a fascinating area.
The first paper we'll look at is Representational Alignment Supports Effective Machine Teaching.
Interesting title.
It explores how to make AI a better teacher.
An AI teacher.
What does it mean for AI and humans to be representationally aligned when it comes to learning?
Good question. Imagine trying to teach someone a new concept,
Okay.
but they speak a different language,
Oh, I see.
or they see the world in a completely different way.
It would be hard to communicate.
Exactly. Communication would be very difficult.
So is it like that for AI too?
Well, the same is true for AI. If the AI teacher doesn't understand how a human student learns,
It can't teach very well.
right, teaching becomes ineffective.
This research is about making AI understand different learning styles.
Precisely. They used a new experimental setting called grade to test this idea.
A grade.
What they found was that when students were paired with AI teachers
Right.
who shared similar representations, learning outcomes improved.
So it's like finding the perfect tutor who gets how you learn.
Exactly. That's a great analogy. This could revolutionize education.
That's amazing. And this idea could be applied beyond education too.
Oh, yeah. It impacts how we design all sorts of AI systems,
Right.
ensuring they can effectively
With
communicate.
humans.
Exactly.
Now, the last paper in this theme
Right.
tackles a very practical challenge.
What is it?
How can AI help humans make sense of all the complex data,
Yeah.
especially on social media?
We're drowning in information.
The paper is called, Can LLMs Assist Annotators in Identifying Morality Frames?
Okay.
It uses a case study on the vaccination debate.
Interesting.
Annotating data is crucial for training AI models,
I see.
but it can be incredibly time-consuming
For sure.
and subjective.
Especially with complex topics like online debates.
People use all sorts of arguments.
They sure do.
This research explores how LLMs can help
Those powerful language models.
by generating concepts and explanations
Okay.
that make it easier to identify the underlying moral frames.
So the AI is like a research assistant.
Exactly. It helps you sift through the noise and pinpoint the core arguments.
That would be very helpful.
What they found was that Using LLMs this way
Yeah.
not only sped up the annotation process,
Okay.
but also led to more accurate results.
More accurate and consistent.
Precisely.
That's a win-win.
This could be a game changer for anyone who analyzes large amounts of text data.
Lots of applications.
Now shifting gears again.
All right.
Let's look at how AI is finding its way into the creative industries,
Creative industries.
specifically filmmaking
Cool.
and music production.
Oh, wow. AI is making waves in art and entertainment.
It really is. Our first stop on this journey
Okay.
is a paper titled Edit IQ, Automated Cinematic Editing of Static Wide-Angle Videos via Dialogue Interpretation and Saliency Cues.
That's a mouthful.
Imagine this.
Hmm.
You have a single wide-angle camera
Okay.
capturing an entire scene,
I'm picturing it.
and AI transforms it into a dynamic film sequence.
A multi-shot film sequence.
Exactly.
That's pretty wild.
That's what Edit IQ does.
It's like having a virtual film crew.
But how does it know what to do?
How does it know which shots to create?
Right. How does it edit them together in a way that makes sense?
That's where the AI magic comes in.
Fill me in.
It uses a two-pronged approach.
Two-pronged.
First,
Okay.
a large language model analyzes the dialogue.
So it understands what's being said.
It understands the flow of the conversation
Right.
and identifies key moments.
Fascinating.
Second,
Okay.
a visual saliency model
Okay.
pinpoints the most visually interesting elements.
It's finding the best parts of the image.
Precisely.
So it's not just cutting randomly.
Not at
It's
all.
making intelligent decisions.
Based on both the audio and visual content.
That's incredible.
Then it creates an editing plan,
An editing plan.
like a human editor,
So it's optimizing.
for things like shot choices,
Okay.
transitions,
Yeah.
and continuity.
This could revolutionize how we make videos.
From amateurs to pros,
It's democratizing filmmaking.
making it more accessible.
Now, speaking of making things more accessible,
Yes.
our next paper focuses on a medical imaging technique
Okay.
called dynamic contrast enhanced MRI.
DCE MRI.
It's incredibly valuable,
For diagnosing and monitoring conditions?
but it requires injecting a contrast agent,
Right.
which can be risky.
Not ideal for all patients.
The paper is called AADCE, an aggregated multimodal attention mechanism for early and late dynamic contrast enhanced prostate MRI synthesis.
Okay, so they're addressing that risk.
They're using AI to create DCE MRI images
Really?
without the need for the contrast agent.
That's amazing.
They developed an AI model,
What kind of model?
a GN,
A
a
gene.
generative adversarial network.
Oh,
It can generate synthetic DCE MRI images
wow.
from other types of MRI scans that don't require contrast agents.
So they're using the safe scans to create the risky ones?
Exactly.
It's so clever.
It's like filling in the missing pieces of a puzzle.
I like that
The
analogy.
implications are huge
Yeah, this could make DCE MRI safer.
and more accessible,
Exactly.
potentially leading to earlier diagnoses
For sure.
and better outcomes.
It's fantastic how AI is making healthcare safer.
AI is not just about flashy applications.
Right.
It's about solving real problems,
Real world solution.
improving people's lives.
That's what it's all about.
Now, let's delve into AI's ability to understand human emotions,
Emotion AI.
but with a focus on privacy.
Interesting.
We know facial recognition can be used to analyze emotions,
It can.
but it also raises privacy concerns.
Big time.
The paper, ELDMLLM, Emotion Analysis in Long Sequential and De-Identity Videos with Multimodal Large Language Model, addresses this.
I see. So they're trying to find a way to understand emotions without using facial recognition?
Exactly.
How do they do that?
They argue that short video clips
Okay.
don't provide enough context,
To accurately interpret emotions.
and they can be easily manipulated.
Right.
So they're looking at longer videos.
Makes sense. More data, more context.
To avoid privacy issues,
Yeah.
they focus on de-identified videos.
De-identify.
So there's no personally identifiable information.
Okay, I understand.
Specifically, post-match interviews with athletes.
Interesting choice.
They can analyze body language
Okay.
and tone of voice
Right.
without relying on facial features.
Clever.
It's like understanding the subtext of a conversation
Those nonverbal cues.
that reveals so much.
They sure do.
They created a new data set called EALD
EALO.
and used multimodal LLMs to analyze both the visual and audio cues.
And what did they find?
They were able to accurately detect emotions,
Really?
even without facial expression.
That's amazing.
This could have applications in psychology,
For sure.
human-computer interaction, even marketing.
Interesting.
allowing for a more nuanced understanding of human behavior.
All while respecting privacy.
Okay, we've got one more fascinating application.
I'm intrigued.
It involves something I'm personally fascinated by.
Geez.
Trees. The paper is called A Brief Analysis of the Iterative Next Boundary Detection Network for Tree Rings Delineation in Images of Pinus taita.
That's a long one.
They're using AI to analyze tree rings.
Tree rings.
Scientists have been doing this manually for centuries.
Yeah, that's dendrochronology.
It's incredibly valuable for understanding climate change,
Okay.
forest ecology,
Right.
even archaeological dating.
I see.
But analyzing those rings can be incredibly time-consuming.
For sure.
So they've developed an AI.
To automate the process.
Exactly. They're using a deep learning model called INBD
INBD.
to identify and delineate those tree rings in images.
Wow, that's cool.
Instead of painstakingly counting rings under a microscope,
Yeah.
scientists can use AI.
To analyze vast amounts of data much faster.
Exactly. This could accelerate research in dendrochronology
It could lead to new discoveries.
about our planet's history.
And the impact of climate change.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground in this section.
We sure have.
From AI helping us eat healthier
Okay.
to understanding human emotions
Right.
and even analyzing tree rings.
The breadth of AI research is remarkable.
Welcome back. We're diving into the final part of our AI research deep dive.
We've seen some amazing stuff today.
It's clear that AI is rapidly transforming nearly every aspect of our lives.
I agree.
We've still got a few more exciting discoveries to uncover.
Let's do it.
So buckle up and let's finish strong.
I'm ready.
I'm particularly excited about this final section.
Oh. What is that?
It showcases how AI is not only solving practical problems, but also expanding our creative horizons
I love that. Expanding our creative horizons.
and deepening our understanding of ourselves.
I can't wait.
Let's start with a theme near and dear to my heart,
Okay.
the intersection of AI and music.
Always a good one.
The first paper in this theme
All right.
introduces a model called TC Singer.
TC Simmer.
It's described in a paper titled TC Singer, Zero-Shot Singing Voice Synthesis with Style Transfer and Multi-Level Style Control.
That's quite a title.
TC Singer, does that mean it could actually sing?
It can sing.
Whoa.
It synthesizes realistic singing voices.
Right.
With all the nuances and expressiveness of a human singer.
That's impressive. But I've heard AI-generated music before.
Yeah.
It often sounds a bit,
Robotic.
robotic or lacking in emotion.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What makes TC Singer different?
TC Singer goes beyond simply mimicking existing voices.
So it's not just copying.
No, it can transfer singing styles across languages. And even from speech to singing,
Speech to singing.
imagine taking a spoken phrase
Okay.
and having TC Singer transform it into a beautiful operatic aria.
No way.
It's creating new singing styles.
It's actually composing
In a way, yes. And the control is remarkable.
to control.
You can adjust parameters like rhythm, technique, pronunciation,
Wow.
even emotion
Really?
to create a truly unique performance.
This is incredible. This sounds like a game changer for musicians and composers.
Absolutely.
Even vocal coaches.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Imagine experimenting with different vocal styles
Yeah.
without needing a human singer.
A virtual singer?
It could revolutionize music production.
Open up a whole world of possibilities.
Now let's tune into another musical innovation,
Okay.
this time focusing on the violin.
AI playing the violin.
The paper is Violin Diff, Enhancing Expressive Violin Synthesis with Pitch Bend Conditioning.
All right.
They introduce a model that generates really realistic and expressive violin sounds.
I'm intrigued, but also a bit skeptical.
I get it.
Can AI really capture those subtle nuances?
I mean, like the emotion of a human violinist?
Exactly.
Well, the key innovation here is how they handle pitch bends.
Pitch bends.
Those tiny variations in pitch
Right.
that give violin music its expressive quality.
Okay, I'm listening.
They call their model Violin Diff.
Violin diff?
It first estimates the pitch bend information from a MIDI file
I see.
and then incorporates those details into the generated audio.
So it's not just playing the notes.
It's mimicking the subtle techniques of a human player.
Wow, that's clever.
The results are amazing, apparently.
They are.
They say it far surpasses previous attempts at violin synthesis.
So this could have a big impact.
On music education, composition, even film scoring.
It's opening up so many doors.
Imagine anyone can access a virtual violin virtuoso,
Yeah.
regardless of their musical background.
Or their budget
Exactly. AI can democratize access.
to tools and skills.
that were once limited to a select few.
Powerful stuff.
Now let's shift gears from music
Okay.
to the world of business.
From concertos to contracts.
Let's see how AI is tackling the challenges of the business world.
I'm ready for a business lesson.
Our first stop is a paper
Okay.
titled TimeSync, Temporal Intent Modeling with Synchronized Context Encodings for Financial Service Applications.
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
I know, right?
What does it all mean?
It's about understanding customer intent.
Customer intent.
In the financial services industry,
Okay.
financial institutions have tons of data
So much data.
about their customers,
Right.
but making sense of it all,
Yeah.
especially across different channels.
Like websites and apps.
Mobile apps, websites, call centers,
Okay.
it can be overwhelming.
Definitely. Data overload.
So how does TimeSync help?
Fill me in.
It uses AI models called transformers
Transformers again.
to analyze customer interactions,
Okay.
taking into account the timing and sequence of events.
Interesting.
By synchronizing context encodings,
Hmm.
it can identify subtle patterns
Them.
and predict future actions.
So it's like predicting what customers will do next.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
This allows financial institutions
Yeah.
to provide more personalized services,
I see.
more effective services.
It's all about improving the customer experience
It's like having an AI assistant that can anticipate your needs.
before you even have to ask.
Precisely.
That's impressive.
Now let's move on to a challenge that's relevant across many industries.
Okay. What is it?
Figuring out which data is actually important
Important for what?
for making accurate predictions.
Oh, that's a big one.
The paper is called Model Input-Output Configuration Search with Embedded Feature Selection for Sensor Time Series and Image Classification.
Another long one.
I know. But the idea is simple.
Okay. I'm listening.
We're drowning in data these days.
Tell me about it.
It's hard to know what to focus on.
Right. It's all about finding the signal in the noise.
Exactly.
So how does this research help?
They introduce a new method
Okay.
called IMICSEFS.
My CSEFS.
It helps you find the signal in the noise.
Tell me more.
It figures out which data points are truly relevant.
For making accurate predictions.
You got it.
So it's like a data detective.
It helps you solve the case.
I love that analogy.
And they've tested it on sensor data
Okay.
and image data.
So it works across different types of information.
It's a valuable tool for any business
I bet.
that deals with large data sets,
So many businesses these days.
from manufacturing and healthcare
Yeah.
to marketing and finance.
It's all about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Okay, we've reached our final theme for today.
Okay.
It's crucial for the future of AI,
What is it?
bridging the gap between humans and machines.
Ah, yes. That's where the rubber meets the road.
AI is becoming increasingly integrated into our lives.
For sure. It's everywhere.
But we need to find ways to work together effectively,
Humans and machines.
to leverage the strengths of both.
I totally agree. Collaboration is key.
So how does this research propose to bridge that gap?
Good question. Let's find out.
The first paper we'll look at
Okay.
is called LLM plus AL, Bridging Large Language Models and Action Languages for Complex Reasoning About Actions.
LM plus AL.
It explores how we can combine the strengths of two different types of AI.
Two AI minds are better than one.
LLMs excel at understanding language.
But they struggle with complex reasoning.
That's where action languages come in.
Action languages.
Think of it like programming a robot.
Fully.
You need to specify exactly what actions it can take
Right.
and how those actions will affect the world.
So this research is combining the linguistic skills of LLMs
With the logical reasoning of action languages.
creating a super AI team.
They call this approach LLM plus AL.
LLM plus AL.
Like having a team of AI experts
Just with their own specialty.
working together on a problem.
That's a powerful combination. So did it work?
They found that this combined approach can actually outperform LLMs,
Really, even the advanced ones?
even the most advanced ones,
Wow, that's impressive.
on complex reasoning tasks.
That's a huge step forward.
It's a step towards building more transparent and explainable AI systems.
Explainability is crucial for building trust.
If we don't understand how AI is making decisions,
Yeah.
it's hard to trust it,
Especially when the stakes are high.
especially when those decisions have real-world consequences.
Absolutely. We need to know how AI is thinking.
Now, our final paper takes a fascinating look at bias.
Bias in AI,
It can perpetuate existing societal biases,
leading to unfair outcomes.
leading to unfair or discriminatory outcomes.
We need to address that.
The paper is Embracing Dialectic Intersubjectivity, Coordination of Different Perspectives in Content Analysis with LLM Persona Simulation.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack.
I know, but the idea is to use LLMs
Those language models.
to simulate different perspectives and biases
So they're creating virtual debaters.
with different points of view.
That's a clever approach. How did they do it?
They use GPT-4
One of the most powerful LLMs out there,
to create these different personas.
each representing a specific ideology.
They then use these personas to analyze the same data.
Interesting. What data?
News transcripts
Okay.
from Fox News and MSNBC,
Ah, I see where this is going.
covering the 2020 U.S. presidential campaign.
They wanted to see how different biases would affect the analysis.
Exactly.
Clever. And what did they find?
The LLM personas exhibited stronger biases
Okay.
when analyzing content
Yeah,
that aligned with their own viewpoints.
that's not surprising, but it's important to see it demonstrated.
It highlights the need for techniques to mitigate bias in AI systems.
We need to make sure AI is fair and equitable.
It's a reminder that AI is a reflection of us.
Of him as who create it.
If we want AI to be unbiased,
Yeah,
we need to be mindful of our own biases.
and work to address them.
Well, we've reached the end of our AI research deep dive.
What a journey.
We've explored so much today.
From the theory to the practice.
The possibilities of AI seem endless.
I'm so excited for the future of AI.
Listener, we hope you've enjoyed this whirlwind tour of the latest breakthroughs.
We encourage you to keep exploring.
As AI continues to evolve,
Yeah,
it's important to stay informed
and engage.
to ensure that these technologies are used responsibly.
For the benefit of all.
Remember, the future of AI is not predetermined
It's being shaped right now.
by the choices we make.
And the actions we take.
Let's work together to create a future where AI empowers us
Enriches our lives.
and helps us build a better world.
Everyone.
That's a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.